Hello, welcome to this week's Tip Drop with Khalida. We are going to release our lower back and also do a few self-relaxation exercises for the obliques and the transverse abs. What you will need for this session is a yoga mat, a chair, or this can be a sofa, or it can be some wall space, or a stack of yoga blocks, but you might need more than two. I only have two available here, but you can adjust the height. For that, we'll be laying on our back with our feet elevated for part of this session. We will begin with small movements, tiny movements. So part one of today's tip drop is tiny movements with the head. Tension here can travel all the way down because it's a lot of work for our bodies to hold up our heads. So getting some movement back here might change your posture because of the waterfall effect. So let's begin. Your nose, you're going to aim it up and down as if you're saying yes, but you make the movement first medium and then very small, very small, very small. Make a tiny, tiny movement, then make it bigger again. But very, very softly, gently move your nose up and down. You can also focus on your chin. Now let's go side to side, side to side. Very small movement. Then a little bit bigger. Hi Maria. Then gradually more movement, but very soft. Think very light. And you might feel your arms react or your feet. Just be aware of what's happening and let me know in the comments later. And then you make the movement small again. Smaller. Even smaller. Okay, now let's try a circle with your chin or your nose. Very small. I can feel myself relax because my voice gets lower if I do this. Then make the circle a little bit bigger, like a spiral. Gradually. Gradually. And you breathe. Turn around first, big, and you spiral. Gradually. And then you shake it out. Let me know how that feels. Now walk around. Let me show you first. Walk around. Your nose will go up and down and also side to side. So you will be zigzagging. And this will relax the small muscles underneath the skull here and this area. So zigzag. And then try walking around, but make it very slow. You might get a bit dizzy. And don't run away. Don't run. Just make tiny steps around where you are and try the other direction. Up and down. And this is very healthy to do, especially if you do a lot of computer work or if you have to work and focus on one thing, maybe even driving, and your head is not getting this small movement. It'll help you release. Okay, now shake it out. Second thing we're going to do for this will be on the floor with our feet up. We'll elevate our hips from the floor and then move it small, like we did with our head. You can add a weight on your hips if you're used to this exercise. Try it without first, and then you can make it heavier, adding 2 dumbbells or one slightly heavier weight. So I am on the floor. My knees are elevated, my calves are resting on the chair, and I just settle for a moment here. This changes the gravity angle, and that in itself may already help to relax the back because it's no longer holding me up. Deep inhalation. Exhale. Okay, now we're going to experiment a bit. First, scoot yourself away. I might go out of frame. And elevate your hips, straightening your legs. Point the toes. Then gently land again and relax. See how that feels. Okay, now try the same, but cross your legs one over the other, like this. Carefully lengthen your legs and your hips all the way, activating your glutes. Inhale here, and then gently, gently roll yourself down. I'm going to scoot. Excuse the sound. The chair out of it so I can see you guys better. Now cross the other leg on top. first set like this. Crossing the legs already makes a difference for the pelvis. You are rotating and adducting, abducting. Now, straighten again. And this might even relax your shoulders, because now you're giving yourself a massage with the weight of your hips. Inhale here and exhale all the way down. Okay, so that's phase one. Phase two is elevating the hips, but only a tiny bit. Imagine a sheet of paper going under your hips. I'll do like this so you can see it. A sheet of paper, that's all that needs to go under it. If a mouse can pass through, it's too much. So you try to elevate, putting pressure with your calf muscles in the chair or feet into the wall. And you just hang out there, literally. My hips can move, yes, they're not on the floor, but not quite up either. And then you settle down because it's tiring for the legs. Shake it out. Again, same thing. Inhale here, as you exhale, tiny bit of pressure to lift a tiny bit. And now I'll go up and down with my hips. So hips towards the rib cage. Up, 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 like a tiny shimmy. Settle down, relax. Give it a second. Same thing up, but now I'm going to tilt my pelvis front to back. Tiny movements, as small as you can make it, like we did with the nose. Tiny, tiny, smaller than you think. This might activate and wake up the muscles around your tailbone, connecting it to your pelvis. There's a lot of tiny muscles around there that don't get much movement. It's good to release it. Okay, up again, third one. We did sides up, we did tilting. Now let's try twisting. Twisting, that will use the hip flexors and the obliques. And then make the twist very small, very small, very small. So I'm twisting my pelvis like that. Inhale and let go. Last one. Lift again and try an Ami, a tilted pelvic circle. If you're not familiar with the movement, just do your best to move your pelvis in any direction. You just move it around. You move it around. It's not about technique, it's about getting some movement in there. Okay. Before the legs get too tired, scoot yourself away. Shake out the legs. Roll to your side. Carefully help yourself up. And we'll go for the last, or next to last exercise, and then we'll retest. That might be interesting for you to notice if this helps, if it makes a difference. So legs in, crossing in. However you feel comfortable, you can also have the legs in front. We're going to bend sideways, stretch out the sides, and then use your fingers, hope you can see them, make a claw, or use your thumb, and we're going to poke our side to check for any pressure points, trigger points. If anything feels sore, you keep pressure on it and you breathe, and then you move a bit, and that's how you release them. There's many trigger points amassing around the top of your pelvis and in the deeper layers of the abs, and this is all you need to do to relax them. You'll have immediate effect. I'm lifting up with an inhalation and I'm reaching diagonally over. My rib cage goes up in that direction, so I'm not bending far. I'm going up in that direction and then I lean. What I'm trying to do is stretching this, and then you can go forward or you can go deeper, whatever you need to feel a bit of stretch here, and then you poke. If you did my ab workout yesterday of Fit with Khalida, you might feel sore all around depending on the muscles you used. So I'm digging around, front and back and up and down. You can also go between the ribs, but the floating ribs can be very sensitive, so go easy there. Dig around for some points. If you feel something, breathe and move your hand or move your body. Okay, carefully come back. And you can repeat this as often as you like. There's no limit on it. I just don't want to make the video too long. So let's lift up. Reach first, so you make some tension. And then if you find a bit of stretch, you keep this position and you go in with your hand. I'm using this hand for support. You can elevate on a block as well. And you move against it until you find a nice sore spot. You keep a bit of pressure on it, but don't go too hard. You don't want to stress yourself out. You breathe and you move. Yes. You feel how it feels. And that's all you need to do. You can do a couple of rounds and do one more. This time you can bend a bit further to the front and reach over to the back a bit more and find those floating ribs, or go to the pelvis attachment or the top of your glutes. All those areas might be sensitive. For me, right around where the pelvis meets my side, where the wing ends. Yes. And if you like, go for the obliques also. Other side. So bend a bit more to the front if you like, and explore here in the back. So if you want to do workouts with me, I'm doing something new. On Thursdays 12:30, you can join me live on Instagram /fitwithkhalida. I'll add a link, and we'll do a weekly workout, something different every day. We did abdominals yesterday, 7-minute workout, and you can watch the replay now. I made a short version that you can follow. Next week we do hips. So for strengthening, which you can combine with the tip drops, go to instagram.com/fitwithkhalida and join me on Thursdays. Okay, rub. Slowly come up. Let's retest. Let's test again how this feels. And for most people, including me, this feels nice. Walk around. My feet feel more connected to the floor. It's like my hips are more heavy. Yes, and if you feel here, if this is more alive, then try out movements. It'll make it more free, more light, and also more connected, hopefully. Try a shimmy. If you struggle with shimmies, we will be working on shimmies in the coming weeks in Boost. So there will be tip drops that help with shimmy in the next, in late spring, early summer. You will find those in here. Yes, let me know how this feels for you. Let me know if this is helpful in the comments later on. And you will find this tip droppy in your mailbox this Friday, as well as on YouTube, as always. I wish you a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.